Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So it is the end of March and we are getting one last punch in the gut from Old Man Winter. So we're hunkered down here in the garage today and we're gonna do something that I probably should have done 2 months ago, which is service the tractor and get it ready to go for spring. So we're in here with the wood stove going and we've made a number of improvements to the shop this winter that make working out here on projects like this just that much more enjoyable. I wanna take a quick minute before we get started and show you what my favorite improvement is that we made to the garage this winter. So we spent a lot of time this winter working on the workbench out here in the shop, adding extra shelving up top there, adding our PVC hangers for all of our power tools, shop light, power bar across the back, so we've got plenty of outlets for charging batteries. Workbench right now is a little messier than I like, but like I said, we're getting ready to tear into the tractor, so we've got all of our fluids and filters, funnels, oil pans, owner's manual, all that good stuff set out here to tear into the tractor. But easily my favorite upgrade we made to the shop this winter has got to be this toolbox. A few months ago, we had a company reach out to us called Bespoke, and they make custom shadow boards for your toolbox and all your tools. And this video is not sponsored by them, but I figured since we were out here in the garage, it was worth mentioning again because I just love it so much. But just gives you a place for all your tools, and it forces you to put them all back when you're done because I can't stand the sight of an empty slot there showing me that I've got a tool missing. So again, not sponsored, but I just thought I'd mention it again in case any of you guys out there work on your own equipment and could use a little more organization in your toolbox. Anyways, guys, we've got the tractor parked in here in the garage next to the wood stove. We're gonna go ahead and pull the loader arms off of the tractor just to make getting into the engine compartment a little easier. What we've got on the agenda is engine oil and filter, hydrostatic filter, hydraulic filter, fuel filter, and if we have time, my mount for my third function valve on the front loader arms got bent, so we're gonna go ahead and try to replace that as well. All right, so we're gonna go after the engine oil first, and I believe there's 2 drain plugs there, and they are both 17 millimeter. Next is the oil filter. Use a little filter wrench here to get this started. Now the oil fill cap is right here. It's kind of buried back in there amongst some fuel hoses and stuff. It's not too bad, but it's also not ideal. We'll put our funnel in there. That'll make it a lot easier. And according to the owner's manual, this takes 1.58 US gallons of 15W40. All right, so we replaced all of our engine oil, cranked the tractor for about 2 minutes just to cycle that fluid all the way into the new filter, and then we checked our engine oil level. We're all good there, engine oil is done. Next on the list is the fuel filter. Now the manual calls for taking the plug off the bottom of the fuel filter, draining the fuel out of that bowl, and then replacing the filter. But I think you're gonna end up getting diesel all over the floor here. I think that's just gonna create a mess. So I'm gonna see if I can take apart this electrical connection here and then spin the fuel filter off with all of the fuel still inside of it, and then dispose of it with a funnel instead of getting it all over the inside of the engine compartment here. Need a little flathead screwdriver to undo that tab. Now we should be good to unscrew this. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a drain pan just in case. Well, I just realized I got burned. I ordered all of my filters off of Amazon, and I just realized that is not the same filter as the one that's on the tractor. So I went ahead and put this one back on, and I ordered this kit like 2 months ago, and I'm just now getting around to doing it. I didn't check it when it first came in, and now it's past the point that I can return or get some customer service on this, so I'm gonna have to go order a new fuel filter. This one's gonna stay on until I can get a new one in. All right, next up we've got our hydrostatic filter. That's gonna be on the left side of the tractor underneath the footstep there. Now this one's only gonna leak a little bit until it drains out. The hydraulic filter is gonna continue to leak until you get the new filter back on. So this one you don't have to be in such a rush. Well, that didn't go as planned. As I was saying, the other one, you have to be in a little bit more of a rush. This one, you don't have to be in such a rush to get the new filter back on. All right, the hydrostatic filter is back on. Now it's time for my least favorite filter on this tractor, and that is the hydraulic filter. As I mentioned earlier, this one, as soon as you start unscrewing it, it is gonna leak fluid until you get that new filter back on. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but it is buried in some hydraulic hoses here. So you kind of have to be quick, and you've got stuff in the way. It's not a real easy filter to get to. Okay, we got it busted free. Let's get the filter clamp out of the way. All right, let's go. Now I already greased the seal of the new one, so as quick as I can get this one out. That might be the quickest I've ever been able to get the old one off and the new one back on. Now, even with how quick we did that, we still lost somewhere in the neighborhood of a gallon, maybe a little bit more than a gallon of hydraulic fluid here. So we're gonna go ahead and top that back off. But it's kind of funny. The hard one went really, really well. And the one that was supposed to be easy, I ended up spilling that on the floor. So just goes to show you always gotta be ready. Now, much like the engine oil fill, the hydraulic oil fill is kind of difficult to reach without a long neck funnel. You can see it right there in between the two rear tires. So what I like to do for that is, again, use a long neck funnel. And it won't stay in place on its own. So what I do is I take a bungee cord and bungee it in place so that it'll stay. There, just like that. While we're here, we might as well go ahead and change out the front axle oil. The owner's manual calls for that at 400 hours. We're at 362. Might as well go ahead and do it here now while we got it in the shop and it's springtime and we're not using the tractor for anything. We're gonna be using Lucas SAE 80W90 gear oil. All right, now the tractor is all taken care of with the exception of the fuel filter. We'll go ahead and get one of those ordered up. Close the hood down here. Let's go take a look at this mounting plate for the third function valve. You can see right here some of these screws got bent. I'm hoping that the part that we have is all we're gonna need to fix this. All right, let's see what size socket we need. So we got the bolt from the new piece. Just take that, guess and check. Looks like we got a winner. That is a 10 millimeter. And there's our socket. I love opening this drawer, guys. Getting to use one of my swivel heads here. Well, that's why that was so painful to get out. That bolt's all bent up. This is turning into quite the little project. As you can see, the back part of that mounting plate for the third function valve that's now dangling here is stuck behind these hard hydraulic lines, and there's not enough flex in those to get that piece out. Also, it looks like that nut that bolt is going to screw into is a little bit loose, so that might need re-welded back into place. But in order to get that piece out, I think I'm going to have to take all the mounting covers off of the rest of the hydraulic lines on the loader so that I have enough play in here to get that out. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so we got all those hydraulic mounting blocks unbolted. So now these should all, oh, there we go. If I just pull this out. There we go. There's the old one. As it turns out, these little threads that hold the hydraulic mounting blocks on aren't welded on after all. It looks like they're just pounded in. So I got a little dead blow hammer and we'll just pound that back in. There we go, good as new. Well, there you go, guys. That's a full spring service on the Coyote tractor. We are ready to go for spring and summer. I'll tell you what though, these fluids and filters for this machine and maintaining it is starting to get awfully expensive. I think doing it myself with just the fluids and filters, I had over $200, and I think dealerships are charging you anywhere from $350 to $500 to do that for you. So I don't know, you guys saw the video, you saw what's all involved. Let me know if you guys think it's worth it to have the dealer do it and just be done with it for the extra couple $100. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this one, give me a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.